Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Nighttime Astro Live. Hi, I'm Shannon. I'm your host of Nighttime Astro Live and the owner and operator of Lunar Ladies. Welcome, one and all, YouTubers as well as Facebook. So excited to come to you. We had a holiday here in America on Monday, so I wasn't here live giving you the play-by-play of what's happening in the nighttime skies cosmologically. Okay, and I was going to go live yesterday, but then things were happening in my household and it didn't work out. So here I am on His Holiness the Dalai Lama's birthday, July 6th. I was going to say 1776, but maybe we were all there. Who knows? But we've got lots of stuff happening, especially yesterday. I had posted about the reactivation of CERN, which is the Large Hadron Collider that is built on the border of Switzerland and France. And it's doing, we don't actually know what it's doing or if it's doing anything, right? This is definitely a time of checking in and using your physical body to really get a sense of what is true, what's really happening, and where do you stand in all of that. The Aquarius age is like this individualism of like, am I a part of the collective, and how is the collective affecting me, right? Because age of Pisces is more the group collective and the group think and the organized religion and the hive mind. But in Aquarius, we move from that into a more individualized free state. This is where you have to really know who you are. And so you'll then merge with the soul tribes, the groups, and the places where you want to be, where you'll feel that tribal, connected, birds of a feather energy. Oh, hi, June. Welcome. So nice to see you here. Thanks for being here. So we're going to go into the big changes that are happening in the skies. And we'll start with yesterday because it was really interesting the moment that that event was taking place in Switzerland and France. Utilizing physics and colliding of particles at fast speeds. And that's what they're telling us. Now, we don't know for sure, right? Some people say, oh, it's a hoax, it doesn't exist. Some people are like, oh my God, it's going to rip a hole in the fabric of reality, right? So somewhere along that bandwidth is probably the truth, right? And that's what we can really tap in and use our physical bodies to get grounded, connected to our incarnational experience as souls having a human experience, using our bodies to feel in the present time, here and now, what's going on, using your body almost like a pendulum to get your yeses and your no answers or your lies from the truth, being able to, I was joking with Linda yesterday, and using discernment, or do I need to be concerned about this? So either way, it's always a good call to find your center and your ground and your connection. Oh, aloha, Amy. How's my dolphin sister, Pisces soul sister doing? I hope you're doing really well. Thanks for being here. So tonight we're going to take a look at, I did an event chart for that moment so I can kind of get a read on the energy of what the stars want us to understand. And then I want to move into tonight, actually in about 40 minutes, the moon and the sun will come into a waxing square. And that waxing square is happening in moon in Libra and the sun in Cancer, of course. And so we're at the time of the lunar cycle. We had the new moon last week. We're now at the time of the lunar cycle where we get into action. So we have waxing, building energy, moving us towards the super full moon in Capricorn, which will be conjunct Pluto. It'll be conjunct Pluto in retrograde. So we have a occulted Pluto type of moon. At the full moon, it's a super moon, it's a big moon in Capricorn. And then we also have, remember that the new moon last week started with the black moon conjunct the new moon and sun. Now we've got Pluto, which is like a a soul brother to the black moon Lilith, is conjuncting the full moon at a supersized level. So we're going to feel it more, going to be closer to Earth. It's going to have more of a punch, more of an impact. And with the presence of Pluto, it's going to be big. So we'll be talking about that next week. That's on the 13th, a week from tonight. But the tarot card, I have my Rider-Waite tarot card, and they're the giant size. So I like using these because you can see the cards really well. And Pluto, or I'm sorry, Libra waxing first quarter moon is known as the Black Knight, meaning the Black Knight. And the Black Knight is really seen in the Knight of Pentacles. Hi, Jenny, welcome. And if you are like me, interested in the tarot or wanting to learn more about the cards, this is the card's energy of the Libra waxing quarter moon with the Cancer sun. It's not moving fast. It is taking its time. It's Pentacles are about earth energy. The black horse is like, I am, I will arrive precisely when I get there. It's not like a rushing energy. It has to be in balance, right? So you will move energy faster if you find your center and your balance, and energy will find its flow where it's supposed to go. So forcing something in that Aries energy, not going to work. This is Libra. Libra is about balance, and it's about waiting for the exact moment to make a move. So just as a visual to kind of get a sense of how you'll be dancing with the cosmic energy. It's going to require you to be balanced, find your inner harmony, connect with the relationship to soul, to the physical self, the personality to soul, find that beautiful happy medium, do a sacred marriage of your inner self and your outer self, and then listen to the wisdom that comes from you being balanced and connected in a harmonic state. Now, in harmony, when things are like the truth equals what you feel, what you sense, what you know, right? Everything's in balance. At that level, it's a much higher frequency of awareness and living your life with purpose and power. At that level of harmony, karma, cause and effect, does not exist in that level because things are in balance. The moves and the cause get a balanced reaction. So there's not like, oh, I'm putting something out of balance in there and I'm going to get the effect of that imbalanced energy. If I'm balanced and I'm moving forward in a balanced state, the effect of that is going to bring me more balance instead of an imbalance. So hope that makes sense. But let's take a look at the charts. Yay. So I have up right now the first quarter waxing moon, but I'm going to do that second. I want to say hello to the CERN restart that happened yesterday. And that was going to be what I was going to talk about last night, but I was unable to be here last night. Okay, so just as a reminder, we're looking at the CERN, the Hadron Collider in Switzerland, getting restarted after it hasn't been started since 2018. So we were kind of like, okay, this is a big deal. They did all these upgrades apparently, and it affects things at a global level. So we're talking about cause and effect, right? And the moon is now in Libra, which says your cause and your effect must be in balance. So move gently, move slower, really tune in. Okay, so yesterday in Geneva, Switzerland at 4 p.m. on July 5th, CERN was turned back on for experimentation. And so I did a chart, just I wanted to see, well, what does the energy say? And I always start with the moon, because that's the closest to the earth. Here we are on the earth. The moon is the closest and affects us at that core level. So the moon was 25 degrees Virgo in a crescent moon phase, meaning refining. So this restart of CERN was a refining of something that they are working on at a physics or scientific level. And what was really interesting about the moon being 25 degrees Virgo in 33 minutes, it was exactly opposite Neptune, who's currently retrograde. So we had the moon with its polar opposite Neptune. And Neptune, especially if it's operating out of balance, is illusions, delusions, falsities. I can't tell truth from lies, and I'm kind of just, wandering around in the fog or the murkiness. Especially with the moon being there, it's the emotional fog. And I was talking to a couple of friends, and one friend was like, "Oh, I felt so weird yesterday," right? And emotionally was being connected to with what was happening in on our planet. And so that was also an indication of that kind of polarization of the emotional body, which is seeking integration in Virgo, refinement. It's getting organized. It's putting the physical wellness, matching mental wellness, matching emotional wellness, matching spiritual wellness, getting it all the ducks in a row. And it's getting pulled by this Neptunian divisionary kind of energy and blurring the lines and not being able to get a good, clear answer. So if you go on Twitter today and they're talking about the CERN, there's a big patch of people that are saying, "Oh, CERN doesn't exist." Then there's another patch of people going, "Oh my God, CERN is devastating." Like, you're kind of like, okay, which one is it? And only you will know, and your body is the best vehicle for your personal truth. So it'd be interesting if you tap in and just see how you were feeling yesterday. And if you've noticed anything, because this particular chart is saying your awareness is special. This is what makes you a soul having a human experience. Because if we just be in the human experience, devoid of our soul and our soul's awareness, we could just be floundering in the murkiness of what the heck is going on, right? This person says this person says that, and I'm kind of lost in the fray. But when you add your soul awareness, then you become very special, because now you're a soul, which is, a higher awareness level in a physical form, which is operating in a world that's at a more dense vibration. You become very interesting because you're going to pick up on things. And that's how you bring the Neptune into more balance, is you incorporate that soul awareness. So to me, that was the first message for an integrated self, soul and personality, spirit and the physical form, come together through the magical presence of your own awareness, devoid of judgment, devoid of negativity or fear or feeling separated. This is about aligning and centering to your God self within. That's number one. Okay. And then we notice that there is an earth trine, meaning there's flow happening if we can tap into the earth energy. So the moon is in trine to the north node. That's why I said, open up a spiritual book and point to it. Get the wisdom that your soul is sending to you, or your guides, or your angels, or your ascended masters, or power animals. Look for those hidden signals, your signs and your symbols. That's a way to start generating this more beautiful, harmonic earth energy. And then Pluto says, I'm down here with your sacred dharma, your work on the planet. I'm going to be coming into more clear form when the moon makes her way towards Pluto in the full moon. And it's a super full moon. So Pluto here is saying, yes, definitely tune into your soul's awareness. Pluto is the gatekeeper of soul energy for you. And it's in Capricorn retrograde. It's wanting to break apart or tear down symbols, institutional symbols. And what did we see today? I don't know if all of you have seen this. I saw it on Twitter. The Georgia Guidestones. And I know June used to live nearby them. The Georgia Guidestones went down today. There was an explosion early morning, and one fell, and then they're all knocked down. They are down. Isn't that wild? That's a Pluto and Capricorn moment leading up to the super full moon that's coming. Jenny, you share, I got surprised by a big hyper dog. Ooh, coming where we have my little more frail older dog. Oh, that's so scary. And there was concern, threat of her being harmed since she has a sore back legs, and a big dog jumping would, oh, definitely, especially the older doggy, right? Stress for me worked out fine, thank God. But a little kid did get hurt. He'll recover. Oh boy. Yeah. Sometimes the little ones having something like that happen, it kind of imprints a little bit of fear. So hopefully he'll be okay, or she'll be okay. For some reason, this feels like a part of the story, right? To me, it really created a big imbalanced energy. Like it kind of knocked us off where we were operating from. So here you have this, and the animals really respond because they have no filter that tries to go, well, I'm second guessing. They're just reacting, or their instincts are up. So here comes this big dog running out of balance, and you're there with your older dog, and you're trying to protect the older dog. Don't want the big dog to jump, comes from nowhere. You have to react pretty quickly. There's a child in the way. So, chaos. So that's a really interesting thing that happened that Jenny's tapping into. Like I became very aware of that energy with this strange moment in time, right? That was out of control, came from out of nowhere. So we have that chaos energy. And so we're looking at that going, what is that all about? That's the only thing you have to know, is to ask a question, ask many questions, and use your tools to find answers. I like to use my cards, my pendulum, looking for signs or symbols, or asking spirit, send me a sign, right? And invariably something will come. You can trust that. June shares, yesterday was my TikTok live, woohoo! We focused on love and clarity for our souls and got a lot of confirmation of dreams and visions. Oh, June, yes, that's beautiful. I'm so happy that you added to the collective that powerful, positive waves of love and awareness. That's the only thing we need to do. So if you, in any way that you can, share those waves of love, it inspires, it helps, it adds to the bigger kind of 5D or unconditional love grid that's getting reconnected, or even that's getting restarted. Because when we go back to the chart, this chart has a potential, because of that Earth trine, to be very positive when it's directed or balanced, right? And now we have the first quarter waxing moon to take this energy of yesterday and start putting it into action, right? We're taking that new moon last week, we're going to put it into action. So those are wonderful ways that you can add to what you're already doing in the world, by just intention, love, positive, find your center, find your balance. What's interesting too, I think that Pluto is a big gatekeeper, because it is in alignment with two other things happened yesterday. Hi, Susan. How are you, my Glastonbury goddess? Right? Yes, use your tools. That's right. So two other things happened yesterday. We had Mercury leaving the sign of Gemini and entering the sign of Cancer. So anytime a planet changes signs, it's a big moment. It's like a pause. And everybody's waiting and watching and listening. So Mercury, 0 degrees, potent power of the lower mind, moving into the energy of the divine, nurturing mother vibe, family, the child, the birthing, heading towards the black moon to do the shadow work, soul retrieval, going to cross with the sun on the full moon. So we're going to have a super conjunction of Mercury and the sun opposing Pluto and the full moon, super full moon. That's going to be amazing. I can't wait to get to that. I haven't looked at the chart yet. Now, the same time that was happening, and this was sending a yod into Pluto. It's like I'm kind of conditioning Pluto with the magician energy of the full, right? Mercury, when he changes sign, is more that full energy, right? I'm starting on a new journey and I'm quick about it. So Mercury sends a lightning bolt energy into Pluto to condition the space, the mental space, and the root energy, because Cancer is about how we ground and root into the earth, to start moving and shimmering. It was a cause. What's going to be the effect? Okay, so we got to stabilize that with a spiritual awareness of our thoughts, our words, and our behaviors, the everyday ones, the ones that are on repeat, on looping, right? This is the lower mind coming into the feeling body, getting reborn, that the mind listens to the body, listens to the feelings, is present in the here and now through the magical lens of awareness. And Pluto says, hey, make it your like inner mastery kind of awareness. I'm in Capricorn. That's about Saturn and the inner mastery, the inner master. Let your inner master, your soul energy, do the talking, and let Mercury, the mind, the lower mind, do the listening, right? And feel, let the body feel and merge and find the balance and the wellness and the love and the nurturing through the divine feminine or mother goddess energy. It's a good time to connect with your family, siblings, happy memories from the past. If you have children, plan something wonderful for them during this week. Something that will make a good positive memory. Okay, so Mars, he was the second guy. Yes, Glastonbury goddess, yes. Mars moved into Taurus. He left his home sign of Aries. So we have a double take here. Mercury left his home sign, the sign he governs. Mars leaves his home sign, the sign he governs, into new territory. So Mars is bringing positive Aries energy. Mercury can bring positive Gemini energy into Taurus and Cancer. Now, Taurus and Cancer like each other. This is the earth and the ocean, right? They like each other, or the rivers and the river banks, earth and water, in a lovely synergistic relationship. Now, Mars, and it's interesting, over the holiday 4th of July here in America, there was a shooting, a killing at a parade. That's a very Mars energy out of balance. So the timing is suspect to me, because Mars would have been at its critical degree where it's most unstable. So it's easy to kind of supplant an energy in there, especially young men acting violently. That was a definite signal of Mars at the critical degree of Aries. Indicates violence. And then Mercury, of course, was at the critical degree of Gemini, which encourages somebody to be brainwashed, or MK Ultra, or something about being mind controlled. So I was like looking at that experience with the shooter, and when you look at his face, you're like, obviously something's not right. Right? This is a strange looking person, or someone who's been taken over. To me, without jumping down the rabbit hole too far, that felt like a setup. So we don't know how deep those tentacles go. I don't really want to look at that. I want to pray for a better community response moving forward, let's just say. Okay, so Mars moving into Taurus. So Mars has to slow way down. He leaves fire, where he's on fire. He's like, yeah, and he goes to Taurus, and he's like, I'm the Black Knight. I'm waiting at the stoplight. What? This is the longest light of my life. So Mars is learning patience when he journeys through the sign of Taurus. Mercury is learning emotional love and cultivating emotional nurturing. So he has to slow down. So Mars and Mercury are in a slowed down phase. So that's a little bit of a challenge for those energies within you. Mars rules your fire, your passion, your inner masculine. Mercury rules that childlike wonder, the mind, the everyday, the automatic pilot. So we got to slow down a little bit, because the universe is offering us a time and a moment to find our balance. And I think that that's really the message of the CERN getting restarted, because we can use that power for positive ways in the world, because there's more of us and less of them, the 1%. So we gather together in our groups where we feel free and liberated, and we're with the right people. Our birds of a feather flock together power, and we move into a more healthy state of balance. Okay, so let's look at the first quarter moon that's we're going to be operating under. There she is. We've got the 7/7 gateway tomorrow. Like, oh my goodness. Well, it's going to be happening with that Libra moon. Okay, so tonight we're already in it, 7:14 p.m. So the moon is at 14 degrees Libra, the black night's moon. And notice, again, we have, instead of an earth trine that we had yesterday, we have an air trine. Moon in Libra, Saturn in Aquarius, and Venus in Gemini. A beautiful earth trine being guided by Chiron in Aries. So Chiron has changed degree to 16. This is the fiery energy that's guiding this air element. So who do we have involved? Again, we have Venus, your inner feminine. We have the moon in Libra, finding balance at your core. And then we have Saturn in Aquarius in the crown chakra, taking ownership of this vehicle. Sovereignty. And at 24 degrees, the Sabian symbol is a hydrometer, meaning I'm measuring from the crown, I'm measuring the energy of the aura of this vehicle, meaning you, your body, your spirit, your mind, your emotions, your mental wellness, emotional and spiritual wellness. Saturn is measuring, okay, where are we at? I'm taking an MRI snapshot. And from the crown, we can bring our chakras into balance. We can find our center, that are the Sushumna channel, right? So this is about lighting up your light body through chakra work, and you can tune your chakras with tuning forks, with your voice by chanting Om, the Bija mantra. This is how you start tuning yourself up. You can also do it through Libra's the arts, dance, movement, grace. So move your body this week, and move your body gracefully. However that looks for you. Some it might be a yoga, or it might be like doing ballet or Pilates, something that inspires a graceful movement. And it's so funny, there's a meme going, or a woman who's running for, I was like, what the hell am I looking at? But that's just me. There's a woman running for, I think, senator. I don't know if it's a state senator. It might be a state senator. And she's on the beach, and she's like in a bikini. She has a beautiful body. But she does this yoga move, and she's twerking upside down. And she's like, vote for me. And I was like, okay, that's not a very Libra. I wouldn't describe that as a very Libra moon. But she's dancing and she's doing yoga. But that's just, if you've seen it on Twitter, you'll know what I'm talking about. But she took a risk, That's awesome. Good for her. And I love that she's free in her body. Okay. So the moon here in Libra at 14 degrees, opposing Chiron at 16 degrees. And then we have Venus, who rules Libra, saying, let me fill your mind and your everyday behaviors with something that concerns the energy of love. So I had put on an image of the labyrinth, the Great Labyrinth at Chartres Cathedral in France, since we're working with the France border with the CERN energy. So the Sabian symbol is called circular paths. It's about labyrinths. It's about finding finding the connection between everything, right? And so the circular paths of the moon. So the moon is saying, okay, tune into this energy, and you'll be fine. You'll find your way. You'll find your balance. You'll find your connectedness. Exactly, Chartreuse. Exactly. So the moon is saying the incorruptible core of your being, meaning your incorruptible self, like your God self, makes your mind and heart congruent, right? So it's saying, look at the mind and the heart. They want to work together. They want to work together. And I just love this air element, because now we have the heart energy represented by Venus in Gemini, the mind. So we're looking for these things to start working together. So it's saying, instead of seeing one thing as white and one thing as black or good or bad, how about if we put them together and we find the connection between the two? And we put them in a circle rather than diametric oppositions. Let's put it in a circle and move the circle so that things become congruent. Because the moon is saying, at your core, you are incorruptible, meaning you are sacred, divine light of God. That's what you are. And from that place, and Saturn's saying, that's the energy I put in your crown. That's your sovereignty. That's your incorruptible self. From that place, your being makes the mind and the heart dance together in a circular path. So let's see what Venus has to say at 16 degrees Gemini. She's saying, okay, here we go. Are you ready? She says, the head of health, meaning a healthy mind, dissolves into the head of your of thinking, of mentality. So this is saying, my divine mind is what creates the energy of the lower thinking mind. It's not the thinking mind creates the spirit mind. It's spirit mind dissolves into the thinking mind. So Venus is sharing with you, soul achievement is measured. Now, remember, soul achievement, this is pointing to Pluto and Capricorn. Like, what is your soul here to do? And if you do the soul purpose with me, we find out. So soul achievement, what you come to do, is measured by awareness. There's our cosmic keyword for the week, is measured by awareness of self and empathetic appreciation of others. Okay, so we've got clear direction from Venus. She's saying, if you want to tap into the harmonic power right now, you're going to become more aware of yourself, the God self within that dissolves into the thinking self, and practice an empathetic appreciation of other people, because you put them in the circle. They're not oppositions. We're all here together figuring it out. So let's appreciate one another. Okay, so awareness of self allows you to have more empathy for others. Okay, and just to double check, I'm pretty sure that Saturn is the hydrometer, measuring the energy of your whole self, body, mind, and spirit. Oh no, it's the butterfly with the right wing. Oh, more perfectly formed. Okay, so Saturn is saying, okay, you are developing yourself. One side's already had a lot of work. We're going to work on the other side to create wholeness. So Saturn says, explore your idiosyncrasies. Like, what makes you tick? Like, what is it about you that's unique and different? Explore that. Like Susan and I, we've got like a huge love for everything UK. Druid, Merlin, that makes us unique. That's part of our idiosyncrasies. And we got to explore that. Like, why? Why do we like that so much? And we're going to find all these wonderful reasons why, because it's awesome. Okay, so when you explore your own likes or dislikes or things you're drawn to, you have to deal with when you find those in others. So say Saturn saying, okay, there's a lot in the world for us to point our fingers at and go, I don't like that, right? Let's explore, what is the thing that you don't like? Once you track it and go, okay, what is that? When did I first start thinking that? Or when did that come into my awareness? How old was I, or what was going on? And then start to explore, well, if I don't like that in another person, is that energy in me at all? Like, do I behave like that? So we want to become more aware. And if we do, then we're like, okay, let's have some appreciation and empathy for myself. Wow, I don't like that in that person because it's actually in me, and I don't like it in me. So how about instead of changing the other person, I just change me. So that's what Saturn is helping you find the mastery in that place. Okay, so now it's being guided by Chiron, the wounded healer of your divine I am presence. And at 16 degrees, I'm pretty sure, what's he saying? 16, he is saying, because he just changed degree. Oh, that's right. He changed the degree to the image of two what are called prim spinsters. Can you imagine these two old, older ladies sitting on a porch and just criticizing everything? What's going to happen if you live your life through that lens? It's going to be pretty bitter, pretty sour, pretty, not that enjoyable. So the two spinsters are saying, we must utterly be true to ourselves. So this is a good practice this week. If you're like, okay, I'm feeling irked by the world. Okay, find out what exactly is it that's bothering you. Right? Just with no judgment, go, oh, okay, what is this that is so annoying to me right now? Right? Because that's you being one of the spinster sisters on the porch, looking at it going, I don't like that. Nah, 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 nah. Like critical. Then go, okay, I kind of figured out what that is. Then remember, the spinsters are saying, be true to yourself. Is it in you? Because remember, Chiron's Aries. Aries is about you, me, I am. Where does that energy show up in you? Or in the past, in the current moment? So you don't take it into the future, because you have the power to clear it with this air trine. And remember, it's the Knight of Pentacles. He's not moving fast. He's not in a rush. He's saying everything will happen in its due time. Don't push the river. Take your time and really feel into this energy. Because the sun is over here in Cancer. It wants to know how you feel. This is the season of feeling until we get to Leo in mid-July. And then we're going to get into the fun energy. But right now we got to feel it. What are you feeling? What's coming up for you? Because the sun is square Chiron. It's really going to become apparent this week. So what is that? Okay. So Saturn's still in a weak square to Uranus and the lunar nodes. And what's going to happen at the end of July is the lunar node's going to move back towards Uranus, and Mars is going to move towards Uranus. So we're going to have this like conjunction and merging there. So that's a pretty powerful energy as well. So we want to be paying attention to working stuff out now. So by the time we get to July 31st, we're not going to get a boom in our life, because we've kind of like massaged and harmonized our energy field so that when this big shakeup comes, we're not going to fall down like the Georgia Guidestones. But I think it's really interesting, like, why did those things fall down? I mean, they're horrific. The things they say on there is like cray. And something like blew one of the pillars up, then they knocked them all down. So we're like, okay, remains to be seen what that is all about. It's going to be very curious. I'm very interested. Okay, another thing, talking about Uranus. Uranus is sending a lightning bolt into the moon. And I think that's also preparing the emotional core field for this upcoming convergence in July 31st. But before we get there, we have a super full moon in Capricorn with Pluto. That's going to be big. So this week, the guidance is stay in awareness of how you feel, be present, Mercury's there, breathe, because you got to feel it to heal it. So what's coming up that needs healing? How you'll find it is if you get irked by it and other people. Right. Ooh, Melody, solar returns coming. Yay. She's the next Cancerian soul sister to have a birthday. Amy says, I love that it's during the Cyrus Gateway. Right on, sister Amy, pointing that out. Thank you. All this is so exciting and spot on for me as usual. Totally, psychic Pisces. You always are swimming in the ocean of awareness. That's why we love our Pisces friends and family. They're in the ocean of awareness already. We just have to ask them, hey, what are you noticing? What are you picking up on? They're usually going to tell you exactly what's happening in that watery, conscious, dreamy, artistic, empathetic way. So remember how Venus was saying, you know, become aware of yourself and have appreciation of others. Find your Pisces friends. They will teach you how to be empathetic towards others. If you need some help, find some Pisces friends and they'll go, oh, it's so easy. You just, you know, you just fall in love with everything about life that you love. And then everything flows. Like just think about love and happiness and joy. And then all that sacred, happy energy will just find its way to you. You're a magnet. Thank you, Amy, and love you too. Thank you. I'm so happy that we get to share this info together. Yeah, so fascinating, isn't it? And notice too that the moon is kind of sitting solo up here. You know, you're going to be heading towards the south node in about a day and a half, which is to unwind the past and let past lives go and heal this week. That's why you're going to move slow, find your balance, find your center, move with grace, allow things to be. We got Venus in Gemini, that's like soothing our mind and our hearts, be in that circular path. If you have a labyrinth nearby you, some of us have in San Francisco, there's a beautiful labyrinth at, what church is that, Melanie? Oh, Grace Cathedral. I know churches have labyrinths. You might go to your local church communities around town and go, call them up. Hey, do you have a labyrinth by chance? And they're like, well, actually we do. You're like, can I come by and do a meditative walk in a labyrinth? Some of you might be inspired to make your own labyrinths, or you can simply go on Google Images and look at labyrinths. But it's about walking in a circular path, letting yourself kind of find the congruency between heart and mind. Isn't that nice? And so you're activating. So just make sure that your body is in motion to break through inertia. And of course, look in your chart where house is Libra. That's where it's going to be focused at for you this week. And of course, the sun is in your Cancer house, wherever that is in your chart will rule an area of your life. And go slow, feel it out, feel it to heal it. Wash your mind with loving, positive thoughts where the heart and mind can find congruency. Be aware of yourself so you can have empathy for others. Be true to yourself. Once you become aware, then be true and take some action around what needs to shift, change, and grow within you. And the key is if you get annoyed by somebody or something out there in the external world, then press pause, get really still, breathe, feel, what is this? What is it about that makes me so on fire or so annoyed or so critical or bitter, right? And let yourself have a moment to explore that. That's going to build your self-awareness. And then take it the next step and go, is there any part of me that's like that? Without judgment, be cool. Hold up that Venusian mirror. She doesn't judge. She's like, I just want you to see it because then you can choose again and find your flow, find your harmony, rise above cause and effect and karma and all that. Then you can find yourself in that circular path of heart and mind, becoming aware of self and having love for self that then breeds appreciation for others. Isn't that cool? All right, Susan, you got perfect timing. Well, you're getting a session with Joanne. Oh, yesterday. Ooh. If you feel called to send me an email about that, feel free, Susan, because I bet it was amazing. I'm sure it's still ringing through. So I love that you had a sound healing past life regression with Joanne, which is a very harmonic tool using tones, which is very Libra. And that's going to clear your energy fields, right? And move you towards the next level of your personal evolution. Isn't that nice? And then if one person does it, then we all get a chance to do it because we're all in this together. So all of you taking a step forward or taking a moment in time to look helps everybody because we're all connected in the great web of life. So just know that your work that you do on yourself is a great contribution to the collective, and it does not go unnoticed. There are angel scribes taking note everywhere, all the time, 24/7, and it's changing the frequency of the planet. So we can utilize this moment of CERN and the Large Hadron Collider turning itself back on. And we're like, thank you. I needed that extra push to push the positive balance integrated with whatever I see as the negative or the dark and the light. I can put it together and create beauty out of all that. So thanks, CERN. We're going to use your energy and we're going to redirect it this way in our circular past power with the help of the Knight of Pentacles. And Melanie, this is your natal moon, right? Melanie was born with a Libra quarter moon, her chart. So that's nice for Melanie. What's in your chart, right? What kind of moon were you born under? So that's 101, living with your astrology chart. 101, of course you'll know your sun sign because that's your birthday. That's pretty easy one. Go next step. What's your moon sign? Right? It'll be moon and a sign and a house. And then you'll look at your moon compared to the sun and you'll get the moon phase. Right? And then go one step further. What's your rising sign? Right? What was rising in the east when you were born? That's what's merging and rising with you as you take the gifts of your sun and the gifts of your moon, put them together, alchemical marriage, and rise out of the great primordial birthing of the great goddess and merge into your ascendant, which is really coming in fully into your body. Your ascendant rules your physical body's power. So like for me, sun in Cancer, moon in Gemini, I got to merge those things together. And then out comes Gemini. So I kind of got a little bit, not too far to go. Susan's got a moon in Sag, nice fire, fun moon. Jenny, you can look up the image of what the moon looked like when you're born. Yes, Jenny, if you've got a link for that, feel free to share it so people can go there and find out what their moon looked like. That's fun too. Like, oh wow, I was born under that kind of moon. Like I was born under a dark moon with a little sliver. So I love that. I love that. Yes, Amy says the light will always win. Amen, sister. Yes, it will. It has already. And the falling of that stone told me man down darkness. Woo! Cheers. Now working on me, I'm seeing what annoys me and others appreciate you. Oh, you're so welcome. And thank you for taking the time to look within. That is so powerful. So beautiful. Yes, and it's an act of courage and at the same time an act of love. Hi, Janice. Janice on that waning Pisces disseminating moon. Yummy. Leo sun, Pisces moon. Right after that full moon Aquarius came Janice onto the planet. Wait, disseminating moon in Pisces. Lovely. Yeah, who else knows their moon phase? I'm a balsamic moon. So if you have your sun sign and your moon is the sign right before it, that's a balsamic moon. If you have your sun and your moon's the same sign, that's a new moon. If you have your sun and the moon's just the next sign after it, moving towards crescent, right? If it's moon signs opposite your sun, you're born on a full moon. There's lots of fun ways we can figure these things out. So if you need some help figuring out your moon, drop a comment. I can take a look. Also, I have my Living a Lunar Lifestyle course, which teaches you everything you ever wanted to know about living by the moon. And I give a bonus class of how to figure out your moon phase. It's a fun class. So if you're interested in that, I have a summer sale. It's not the super birthday sale, but it's just as good. It's the summer sale going on now through August 31st, and it's 50% off. So if you missed the summer or the super birthday sale, that's okay. I got a summer sale for you. And you can find that at courses.lunarladies.com. So courses.lunarladies.com. And the courses are 50% off, as well as the private one-to-one mentoring sessions. If you want to do the sound course, you can get a private one-to-one 50% off, and I'll do a sound treatment protocol plan for you, how to use your forks specifically on issues. So if you're like, wow, I got my forks and I did the course and I really liked it, I've got the one-to-ones half off, so you can get one of those and we'll do a personalized treatment plan for you. So I'll be talking more about that, but that's on sale through August 31st in the summer. Okay, June's been cooking on her Pisces moon. So we got June and Janice, those Pisces moon sisters, and fire sun, Sag and Leo. All right, Susan's got a balsamic moon. Yes, girl, that's right. Capricorn sun, Sag moon, balsamic, that's the prophet, the prophetess moon. Of course, right? That's why she loves Merlin so much. So powerful. Okay, thank you so much for joining in Nighttime Astro Live. I'll be back. Maybe I'll come back on, well, I have to go to the dentist tomorrow. Wish me luck. It'll be okay. So I don't think I'll be feeling it tomorrow. Let's see, what's happening in the skies? Let's see, so Monday on 7/11, definitely come in Monday. And then Wednesday, we have a special guest. We have Janet, who's going to come in with a full moon activation. So I'll make a post about that so you can, event post so you can know when to come and, or watch the replay. That's happening on Wednesday next week. Plus I'll have full moon info on the 11th as well, because it's going to be. Ah, you're so welcome. My pleasure. Thanks for joining. So happy to come together and have old friends show back up. So fun. So good to see you, Amy. And thank you, Jenny and Janice and June and Susan and all those watching the replay. Thanks for being here. And let me know if you have questions. Good night. Bye for now.